Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes. It is Friday. It is Good Friday. It is the Friday before Easter. So if we forget during this episode, we want to wish you and your family a happy Easter and whatever it is that you do and so forth. Just hope you have a safe one. But this is Friday. It is stories, and it is a time to invite you to become part of our stories. We have worked with and helped so many of our listeners of this podcast to help them not only acquire or sell real estate, but more importantly, build those strategies to building wealth in real estate. It's what we do. So if you want to be part of that, you'd like to have a free consultation, all you got to do is text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. So again, we like to start off with stories. Last week, Justin, I made you go first, so I will go with Ryan.
Sounds good. So a good buddy of mine that I played baseball with back in high school and just, palled around over all these years, and he got married a few years ago, and they asked me to officiate it, and they actually got married on Halloween a few years ago, so I dressed up as a rabbi. It was a lot of fun. They recently said, you know what, we're ready to...
You're going to dress up as a Rabbi Sunday for Easter?
I don't think that would be appropriate.
Well, yeah. There's Jews for Jesus.
Okay. But the short answer is no. Okay. Not going to. So there's that, right? I'm going to go golfing on Easter. Anyhow, they raised their hand and said, you know what, Ryan, we're ready to move out of here. They have this pretty sweet townhome over there in Surprise, and they wanted to move closer to some of their friends and work and whatnot in the Waddell area. And so they just recently bought a home and closed on it. And so we're getting ready to throw a housewarming party here in the next week or two for them. And every single time I talk to Amy, she, you can just hear her beaming over the phone. She's always been a happy, nice person. She has a great attitude and she just has a good outlook on life. But whenever I have her on the phone since they've closed, she's just overcome with joy. And every little thing, whether it be the painter or the mover or whatever, it's not stressful to her. It's like another step towards achieving their goals, and we got to be a part of that. So that just jumps in my mind because I had a conversation with her earlier today, and it just really kind of hits home as to one of the reasons why we do this. And so looks like they're going to be using their townhome as a income producing property, which makes me feel even happier because they have a 3 in front of their interest rate. So it's pretty darn cool.
Very cool.
All right, Justin, what do you got?
All right, so we recently got this really cool AI system that will tell us when somebody had their credit pulled. And it's specific to mortgages. And a guy that we had pre-qualified, it was probably a little over a year ago, we saw that he had a credit pull. So I just called him up, and I was like, hey, man, what you doing? Mm-hmm. And he's like, yeah, nothing. I was like, oh, well, I'm following up with you on, you were about to buy a house a year and a half ago or so, and you decided not to. He's like, oh, funny you should ask. I actually just started the process again, and we're looking at buying a house. And he ended up switching agents, which, for me, I hate that because it's a really tough conversation for me because I always call the previous agent and I tell him. But he had already gotten, so when we get the notification, it's about a day or two after they already got pre-qualified. So they already have the rate and the cost in front of them. And I'm like, okay, well, great. Where are you at? And he's like, yeah, we got pre-qualified through our bank. And this is what they offered. And I was like, perfect. Well, rates are a lot different today. We ended up being like 0.25% better. It was ridiculous compared to a bank. And so he ended up moving over with us, and we got him under contract last week. And yeah, just super,
That's awesome.
super cool.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, again, if you'd like to be part of our stories, all you got to do is text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON. So, Ryan and I, we partner on everything. And so, obviously, there are certain clients that Ryan has a closer relationship with and certain that I do. So, this particular couple is someone that I've developed a good relationship with. Been chatting and kind of looking, and when I say looking, we're sending them listings in the MLS all the time. We haven't really actually gone out too often because the husband, he knows what he wants. And there's one thing to be incredibly picky, and then I have to go out and show you 100 homes. There's another thing where we don't go out and look at a lot because he's very picky and he can determine, and so forth. So it's been a long process. So this weekend he reaches out to me, and with these links, he goes, total change of strategy here. I'm looking at these two 40-acre parcels up in Ash Fork, which is off, I-40, way west of Flagstaff. And he goes, are you, and I love the fact that he came to us first because he found the listing on Zillow of all things. And he's like, is this something that you can help us with? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And so we got the process started. I did, my work as far as getting in contact with the agents because, you just can't start driving, even though there's no house or there's no cabin or anything. This is just vacant, raw land. But you still got to get permission because people got, cameras everywhere and so forth. So that was pretty cool. So we're helping them through that process. But the reason I wanted to bring it up, because I got to know that we have listeners that sounds freaking amazing. So I did a search for 20 plus acres under $50,000 in the state of Arizona. I think about 20 plus acres under $50,000. How many searches do you think I came up with?
In the state of Arizona?
Yep.
I'm going to say the number would probably be around 150.
I'd say 50.
127.
Jeez.
And so I say that so if you are listening and that sounds freaking amazing to you, now granted, you're not going to have a lot of utilities. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I got caught up in looking at these listings and the views, and it's just freaking cool. And so we would love to help you if that is something that you are interested in, 20 plus acres under $50,000 somewhere in the state of Arizona. We would love to help you with that. All you got to do is text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON. Today, again, being Good Friday, normally we do kind of recommendations, favorite bars, favorite this, favorite that. Great segue, favorite bars into Easter. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. The three of us have families, and what are your favorite Easter? What's your favorite Easter tradition, or what does a typical Easter Sunday look like for you guys? And Justin, we'll start with you.
All right. So,
is Sabrina still hiding Easter eggs for you?
oh yeah. I'm the Easter bunny. So I go out
Got a
and
onesie?
I hide everything.
You got a onesie? A bunny onesie?
Actually, I think I might.
You're wearing that next week.
I'm the one that gets up early in the morning. So I'm the one that does all that. I get up before everybody, hours before everybody else gets up. So I go out and I'll hide all the eggs everywhere, and she'll prep them all the night before. But typically have a lot of family come over for brunch. And they typically stay all day, but favorite tradition, and my wife forced me into this, but I make a mean carrot cake. And
Really?
Yeah. And I only make it twice a year. I make it for Easter and my wife's birthday.
I know thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people that I've come across in my life, and I've never heard anyone say that.
Yeah.
I make a mean carrot cake.
I make it all from scratch, and my family, they all come to it for the carrot cake. They say it.
All
but
right.
I make a really good carrot cake. I make the frosting from scratch too. Put it all together, and I just love.
Well, bring us some next Tuesday.
If there's any left, I will bring you some.
Make extra.
Okay. make it last.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
I'm just saying, if you throw down, I make a mean carrot cake, then you can't say, "Oh, I don't think I can bring any."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
That's lame.
That's a blood oath, dude.
All right, Ryan.
All right. So, my brother married a Latina girl. And so growing up, we always did like just go Easter egg hunt, and then we'd have, a dinner together. But when he got married, he said, you know what, the coolest thing is that Mexican people, they throw down for Easter. And I was like, all right, I'm interested. And so they do this huge party that they start the night before, and they go out there, and we start a big old fire, and we throw a bunch of stones in it. And then dig a big, huge hole, throw the stones at the bottom, and then we take some burlap sacks and soak them in water and other flavorings. Wrap up a pork butt, wrap up a brisket, wrap up just all kinds of just massive chunks of meat. Throw them on top of the hot rocks after they've been sitting in a fire for a few hours, and then bury it. And then the next morning, we pull it out, and it's cooked to perfection. It's unbelievable. So
bring some of that Tuesday too.
It never lasts. If you want it, you have to go out there. It's over on the north end of town, and so that's been the tradition every year. And then we do, horseshoe tournament, and then the kids do a Easter egg hunt, and then there's water balloon toss and whatnot. And so and they always have a piñata out there, and so that's always fun. But I'd say that the homemade cajachina, which is basically just burying the meat with those hot rocks, that's probably my favorite tradition that we do for Easter.
Oh man,
Sounds good.
That sounds really, really good.
Yeah.
I don't know when we started this tradition, but I've probably been doing it for about 10 years. And my kids are older now. One's in college and, one's 16. So I don't get to do the whole Easter egg thing because I love that. Those are the fun things about being a dad, right? So we just started. So every Sunday or Saturday night, my mom comes over, spends the night with us. And then on Sunday morning, my wife, she cooks breakfast. It's the same thing every single Easter. My wife doesn't like to cook, nor should she cook. And I definitely could make a better breakfast, but I let her have Easter. That's my gift to her. And so she just makes the same thing every single year. This egg casserole with bell peppers, cheese, and bacon, and then the cinnamon rolls and whatever. But we always, prior to or before nap time, we have finished off an entire bottle of champagne mimosas every flippin' Easter.
Love it.
And it is the best nap
Oh yeah.
possible.
Mm-hmm. Even better than the Thanksgiving nap.
Yeah, so it's just
do.
what we do.
Love it.
All right, if you'd like to be part of our stories, if you are looking for that path to building wealth in real estate, we'd love to help you. Text the word story to 623 AZ Recon. That's story to 623 AZ Recon.